A and S. I imagine Rennie Harris kicking it on a skateboard around Philadelphia in the late 1970s. He flies off stairs and grinds curbs, perfecting tricks that display an incredible capacity for movement and style. I see him rolling with his crew, challenging other skaters, competitive even then. A kind of competitive that will pull him through his life and land him on the world stages as one of the most profound and important dance choreographers of our time. I can't imagine Rennie at his now 60-something years, he mutters into his hand, back on the board after hip surgery, after years of giving up the ride, grooving through the streets of LA, Philly, and Boulder, Colorado. Rennie Harris is a true vanguard, one whose genius has been heralded again and again by the New York Times, who said in 2025, quote, that he has done more than any other choreographer to reveal and develop the metaphorical and narrative expressivity of American street dance. Rennie is a human who changed the face of concert dance by introducing hip-hop and street styles in innovative ways. We are so lucky to have him as a force for good and as a decade-long guest artist within CU's dance program. I feel honored to call him friend, Papa, and our guest on today's episode of The Ampersand. On The Ampersand, we call this bringing together of the impossible the alchemy of anding. Together, we'll hear stories of humans who imagine and create by colliding their interests. Rather than thinking of and as a simple conjunction in that conjunction-junction kind of way, we will hear stories of people who see and as a verb, a way to speak the beautiful when you intentionally let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. As St. Mary Oliver asks, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Oh, I love this question. When I'm mothering, creating, and collaborating, it reminds me to replace a singular idea of what I think I should become with a full sensory verb about experiencing. I'm Erika Randall, and this is Rennie Harris on The Ampersand.
My first skateboard was made by a cat. His name is Louis Bailey.
Okay.
He is part of the younger siblings of Bill Bailey.
Stop it.
Yes. He was my classmate.
And he built boards?
Well, we were friends since middle school, parochial school. I went to Roman Catholic. He went to public school, and they had workshop at that time. So he built boards, and that was how I got my first board.
Really?
Yeah, in school.
Did you know who? So who was Bill Bailey to him?
Bill Bailey is his father, the tapper.
Yeah.
Pearl Bailey, his aunt. I used to hang out at their house all the time. He's also the first person I saw do the backslide. We were in recess, and he was gliding across the gravel, and everyone stopped like, how the and it looked like he was walking, but he was gliding. He was moving backwards, but his feet, his knees. First
time you've ever seen it.
Yeah, knees going forward. Like, what the heck is that? And he says, "Oh, my father taught me."
Stop it.
Well, yeah, and that's all he said. And I remember that. Later on, we became really close friends, and then as we lived not too far from each other.
But he didn't call it moonwalk.
No, it was never called. It's the original. It's called the backslide.
Backslide.
Like most of media, they get it a little off. So the moonwalk,
a little off, just a little.
The moonwalk is actually, it goes forward, and it looks like you're walking on a moon.
Yeah, that's a
why it's called the
in
moonwalk,
hip-hop.
right?
But,
in street dance, yeah.
But somebody got that wrong, and then we just.
So right, they heard the moonwalk, but then just applied it to what they saw physically, because that. When you look at, if you see the moonwalk, the real moonwalk, you'll go, oh, that's the moonwalk.
That's the moonwalk.
But not.
Earl Snakehips Tucker was doing the backslide. He had some in
Earl
the day.
Snakehips, I don't know if he was doing it. I never seen him.
I saw a film.
I seen him doing boogaloo hips. But not backslide.
Okay, I'll see if I can pull it.
I saw Bill Bailey in 1933 do it.
Yep.
Do the backslide. He was known for that.
And tap shoes.
And taps. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so that's the first time I see it. I meet with his name was Johnny Louis Bailey, but but they call him Johnny Bailey.
Okay.
Yeah, so he made me. I saw he came down the street. Said, "Oh, I'll make you one."
Yeah.
And I made me a board, and then he started teaching me 360s, spacewalk, walk the dog, helicopter,
So
cool. Planks on the
Yeah, so you were kind of like breaking on your board. Like no people don't freestyle like that really anymore.
I just saw an older cat, probably my age,
Bringing it back.
Yeah, doing handstands and planks on the board. I was like, oh snap. Yeah, so we should do all that. I should do 360s with two boards, nose, all that.
And you were dancing at the same time. So
all this was happening at the same time.
You were always doing all the things.
Because when you think about it, you got to look at it from the perspective of like, especially in the summer, we would get up and be out the house by 8 a.m. in the morning.
You were told go. Or
we
you wanted to go.
No,
you just
we
went.
were just out.
Okay.
We were out.
Yeah.
And of course, this is where landlines were, right? Yeah. And so for people listening at home, that's when there's a phone in the wall and a cord that's attached to it. Right.
Yeah.
So at that time, we would go out. We never went back home until like 11 o'clock at night.
So it wasn't even when it starts to get dark, I want you home, Lorenzo.
Until you had to, I'm thinking when I was older. When I was younger, it had to be when the street lights came on.
Okay.
So that was always like 6, 7 o'clock.
Okay.
You had to be on the block, so be in shot of the eye.
Within yelling distance.
Yeah, I need to be able to see you.
Okay.
That kind of thing. And so we would go out 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'd be across the city 3, 4 times already by the time I got back. We would just be walking and doing all kinds of stuff. So
and you had a crew that you.
Yeah, we would skateboard. Yeah. We play basketball. We go in the park. We used to play Army Man.
Yeah.
Because we all thought we were going to go into the military after high school.
You did?
That was the plan.
Stop.
That was the Lord of the Flies plan. Like we were like, yeah, we're gonna go. We watched only military films on Saturdays when we.
And you were into this.
I was hardcore into it. We were going, and then I don't know, something shifted. Of course, we didn't know. I didn't know when that shift happened, but so.
Do you have a photographic memory? Because whenever I talk to you about a time, I feel like, what do they call it, eidetic or whatever. I feel like I could ask you what date that was, and where and who was there, and what were they wearing, and what music you were listening to.
You know what? I think it probably goes categorizes under photographic, but not exactly.
Okay.
Right. Like a thing, it's like scratch and sniff with me.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I'm like, oh.
Yep.
Yeah. And then
it's like you time travel. When you tell a story, it's one of the reasons why you tell such good stories.
You know what I mean? Like I don't remember what I did yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't remember, damn it, what's this person's name?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Gone.
But then I can just pinpoint this thing from 1979.
That's what I'm saying. And you go, so your first performance, can you take us back as a dancer? The first time you made money. Oh. And when you had the entrepreneurialism, kind of the moxie to say, I'm going to make money on this thing that we've been doing in the community, but now I'm going to figure out how to make a living.
The first time I ever got paid was not performance, I was teaching.
Okay.
And I did this little lecture. Brenda Dixon-Gashio brought me in. I was about 14 or 13.
BDG brought you in at 14?
She was Temple. She was at Temple. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did you know her?
I didn't at the time.
How'd she find you?
I have no clue.
That is bizarre.
She's
one of the greatest dance scholars of all time, and she's bringing in 14-year-old, not yet Sir Rennie Harris.
We had become very popular in Philadelphia as a street dance crew. We were poppers. We weren't breakers.
And what was your crew's name?
The Scanner Boys.
That's the Scanner Boys.
Right,
okay.
And we had become so popular that our name was at City Hall, all the programs and all the things. Anytime there was like an event.
Let's get the Scanner Boys in here.
They called the Scanner Boys to be the entertainment.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But you weren't always getting paid for that.
No. They would say, hey, so-and-so and so. So I think, and it wasn't even, hold up. It got to let me backtrack. It was the Philadelphia Folklore Center. That's how we got it. We did stuff in the schools of Philadelphia.
Okay.
They were interviewing us and all that kind of stuff. So she was the first time I got paid.
Okay,
personally.
And she had you come to Temple.
So
you brought hip hop to the university at 14.
Possibly, yeah.
That's wild.
Possibly. Yeah, because I was basically just talking about, because everyone wanted to know what I did.
Yeah, so what did you say? What's 14-year-old Rennie say about popping?
I was just explaining we're street dancers,
So
blah, blah,
did
blah,
you
blah.
did you demo? I
demoed.
Okay.
I demoed. I remember that. And I remember sitting in her office at Temple.
She saw a gap, though, in dance studies. She saw that this was not in the books, that this was not in the classroom, this was not in the literature. And you were the first guest then. I'm going to say you were the first.
Yeah, because I know, I'm pretty sure.
Because you were 14, Rennie, and this has not been happening that
Let's
long.
widen that, maybe between 14 and 17.
For the archives,
Yeah.
14 and 17, but even still.
Yeah,
but
I was a kid,
And you did not have designs yet to be in the academy or bring hip-hop to the...
Oh, no. I would tell you this, because you mentioned something about money earlier. I would tell you this. It was all economics. If you paid me, I'd dance.
Yeah.
I was like Tina Turner, your private dancer. It was one of my favorite songs.
Oh my God.
But
Tina.
But you know what I'm saying? So it was like we would go to different bars, go to the lounges, and try to get money from the old people because we knew the old people would be drinking and they would be drunk.
So would you put out a jar or a hat?
We would have a hat, and
Okay.
we would go to the door of the bar.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, can we come in and dance? And, and the dude was like, no, just quick, make it quick. All right. So we'll go in and they'll put some music on and we'll play off the jukebox, play something, and we would dance and then we'll pass the hat around.
And you would take turns improvising? Or would you run it like a cipher? How did you?
It was always improvisation. Okay. It was always traditional, sort of like what I would call traditional hip hop busking. Like we would all stand in a line, do what they call the soul clap or the soul step. Just a 2-step to the left. And then we would do a solo, and then sometimes we'd do a routine to break it up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, and really, any kind of choreography was just a means to get to the solo for everyone.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's what we did. And then, we would put out the hat and that kind of thing. And eventually, we, the Scanner Boys, we were battling our arch nemesis, the Pop-Along Kids.
Okay. Do we hate them or are we friends with them now?
We're friends now. Back then we were like, yeah.
Were you from different sides of the city or just different styles?
They were on the other side of the, sort of like Girard Avenue. And so, and their colors was black and white. Ours was black, white, black, red, and green.
Okay.
And then we were battling them. And and this is literally how I started choreographing. One of the dancers said, y'all don't have any routines. We got routines. And they started doing routines together. And it was the first time I had seen popping to, other than electric boogaloos on television.
Yep.
In the neighborhoods at the block parties, there was never nobody coming out doing 2-man routines and
feeling the unison, feeling the tension, feeling the choreographic form.
And this is way before all the other stuff, before I got to Temple and all that. And so I was like, bet. And so then I went back and we went to my basement and I started choreographing.
And did you run that with the crew? Were you?
Yeah, I was the one.
So you saw that and you could feel there was a certain power in that.
Well, I wanted to beat them.
Yeah.
They was like, y'all.
So you are
like,
a little
y'all,
competitive.
Yeah, no, I am. They was like, y'all whack and you're not up to date because we're doing choreography and we have outfits. We have, you know what I mean? They had shirts. We didn't have any of that.
Okay.
We were all, everybody was poor. We were walking everywhere.
Yeah.
We walked from North Philly to, that's like going from here to like.
Have you written this screenplay? I know I'm always talking to you about writing books and like writing your story. This is a movie. This is a movie.
Oh, I would love to do a doggone Scanner Boy movie. I am writing a.
It's a great title.
Finishing up my book right now. Yeah, that's called The Fifth Element. I'm just at the final draft.
Rennie.
And then the next one, the one I'm writing now is called Endangered Species, and that's more of a deep dive of the first one. It's kind of more or less a prequel, and that's more personal.
You're gonna read me something, and I want you to talk about that title because I know where that title comes from, but I want you to tell our listeners why Endangered. So
this is like a quick draft. So this is called North Philly Early. Early is a slang which means yes. So if I'm saying like, let's do it early, it's the oddest, weirdest slang. It's from Philly. Okay. Philly has weird slang. Okay. So this starts off, my name is Lorenzo Harris. According to my mother, I was born January 20th, 1964 to Doris Teresa Harris and Timothy Long. And my mother doesn't remember the time of day I was born, nor does she remember the hospital that I was born in. And she might have gotten the year wrong. Because apparently, and I say that because the family lore is that I may not have been registered and I may have been born in 63 and not in 64 because, the certificate stuff was still fairly new, I think.
So your family folklore is that we don't know.
Right.
We don't know when your birthday is.
Nobody knows who my father is. I have three different versions of who my mom got me one version, then I got another version.
So there's lore.
So I talk about that, and say it's possible that Timothy Long isn't my father, but that's another book. So I just kind of go into all. It's just like kind of.
But
that
you
kind
go
of stuff.
in through folklore. Yeah. You go in through.
I go and I have a little photo of me when I was like
on the stoop
I think I won with my dog Ren 1010.
But do you think that this focus on lore and mythology, you and I've talked a lot about folklore when we were talking about Hambone and the transmission of movement, but you also look towards lore, whether it's old Shakespeare stories, Roman Jewels, Bible. Have you always been interested in myth and the stories we tell and if they're true or not?
Because you know what, and here's the interesting thing, tying it back to Catholic school, I was when I got into middle school, all of a sudden I got focused on being a priest. So I was going to be this priest, and so I was learning all this stuff. So we're going to be in the army,
and then we're going to be a priest.
Right, yes. I was a skateboarder, I was a basketball player, I was a boxer.
Extreme. Oh my, I didn't know about boxer.
I went to, in Philadelphia, they had this thing called PAL.
Yeah.
It was the Police Athletic League. That's when the police used to be involved in with the kids in the neighborhoods, and they would have these programs, and we would go to hang out with the police and learn how to box and go training and all that. So I did that for a minute. I thought I was going to be a little boxer, but no. Anyway, apparently they didn't have Ritalin.
One way to handle your ADHD, right? Do all the things.
Right, exactly.
Do all the things.
Because I was thinking, I think I might have been officially.
A touch of the ADHD.
Yeah. Maybe RE was right. They just didn't.
They didn't diagnose you right.
I had a behavior problem. I couldn't focus.
Yeah, all of it.
But anyway, so.
Oh my God. I just had someone tell me, they have a thing for adult ADHD. To me.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and producer Tim was like, don't take it, Randall. We love this version. So I'm saying, don't take it. Keep doing all the things.
No, I like that the light can distract me. Like, what's that?
Yep.
So from that and wanting to learn, because I was very story-based. If you told me a story, I was locked in.
Yes.
I never studied really in high school or middle school. I could listen if you tell me this, because a lot of my teachers, God bless them, I don't know where they are, bless them, knock on wood, they taught by story.
Yeah.
And they would tell me all these stories about blah, 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 and just random stuff. I had a biology teacher just all of a sudden, just randomly, just like, yeah, well, if you ever travel, literally just like that. We're talking about like the frog and how we dissect the frog. And he said, oh, yeah, by the way, if you ever travel, make sure you go where the people are. And don't just stay at the resort or in the fence. Find out how the people live. And that's how you know what's going on. And it was almost like when I go back to it, I think about, maybe he was talking to me directly. Because in my life turned out that way, right?
Yeah.
So anyway,
and he got you listening.
Right, it got me listening. And so lore, stories, and storytelling became the thing for me, where I like to listen, and then this is the way I learned. It's also the way I teach.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, and I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't start teaching that way. I just started teaching that way, right?
Yep.
So it's all about what I do know. There's truth in the lore. And with little sprinkles. Maybe some cherries and all that other stuff.
Right, cream on this one.
To zhuzh it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's what was good about street dance, because street dance really, it felt like Lord of the Flies. It felt like Lost Boys. It felt like like this, like, we were our own thing, and we would travel as we'd be 50, like a pack, 15 of us. They often thought we were a gang. We weren't. Yeah. However, there was a lot of folks doing their thing who were dancers, and a lot of people don't realize a lot of street dancers are of that life. That's where they come from. And the dance is probably the only thing that really makes them feel normal. And so they dance, and then that's their thing. But they come from that life, and that's what my generation. Yep. Today's generation is hilarious. But the first time I came back into a cipher in like the 90s, people were battling, we're going in, and everybody started shaking hands, and I'm like, what the heck is this? Shaking hands? We should be fighting. What do you mean? Like, I don't think I ever went to a battle and we were rumbling. We like at the end, we had to run, we had to get out. There was a fight, this gang and that gang, or it was a shooting, it was a something, right?
Yeah, time to go.
Yeah, and I think part of it is something about that sense of danger in the air that makes it like, let's go. Yeah. So we always had like an escape plan. We're going to meet at your mom's house. We're going to meet at your pop lives over here. We're going to take this bus. We're going to go this way. Your older sister lives over. Like,
you had an out before you went.
Always. You never go to another neighborhood and not know how to get out of it. Yeah. And the room.
In the room, period.
Right. Yeah. Right. Like I spotted y'all. Yeah. When I came, I said,
what's up there?
Right? Yeah. Like you. And it's a habit. I'll come in. Like even at CU, I tell the students, I said, listen, if I run, you run. Yeah. Don't ask questions. Do not ask questions.
100%.
Like if I move, you move. I said, I know exactly where I'm going. I know how to get up. When we were at Carlson, I said, we're going to get up into that track up there. We're going to run through the back door up there. And they're like, there's a back door? Like, yes.
Have you not checked that?
Right. And I can see everybody at the top of the steps that's coming down. You know what I mean? Like, I was like I said, y'all understand, like when you go into a space, you have to check. I count exits in the hotel when I walk. I count the rooms. How many rooms it takes from my room to get to the exit or to the steps or to the elevator. Like, I'm like, do
not take safety for granted.
Oh,
like,
no. Like, I'm always...
Endangered species.
Yes, I'm always looking. Like, I'm aware.
Yes.
I'm aware. I'm very aware of the door to my back. I can feel the door there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like this other thing. And I think, as you know, when you come from trauma, that stuff still, it's like spidey senses stay with you. You never really fully relax, even if it's like amazing and you're like the beaches and everybody is happy and stuff like that. And he's like, this can't be true. Something's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't believe this.
Right. So there's a little thing in the back of your head, and everyone who's had any type of trauma, which doesn't release us in order to really fully let us go, like to be able to let go and enjoy the moment that we're in fully.
When you're dancing, do you release that trauma, or do you pull that? Like, or do you metabolize it? Because you talk a lot about trauma in your work, and you are confronting it. You are. It feels like working it out. But when do you feel is that a time when you're clear, like that you're kind of
Well, here's the thing. When I left New York, so I moved to New York right out of high school. So I'm there like 82. Up to about 87.
So it's a moment.
Yeah, so I'm up there.
Whew.
And I come back and, I derp around so when I get back. And then I get the phone call to create, hey, would you be willing to do a choreography, do 45 minutes, but your own choreography?
This was the big call for you.
Right. And he said, I'm going to commission you, was the word. I'm going to commission. And I remember thinking I didn't know what commission meant. And he said, I want you to do this work. He kept using the word work. And I didn't know what the word commission meant, and I didn't I didn't understand what he meant by work. I kept thinking he wanted me to put a crew together. Maybe you heard I can do this bricklaying for him, do a put up a brace or something. Real? Yeah, I'm for real.
Wow.
And then I thought it was like one of my friends, like trying to pretend like they were white, quote unquote, air quotes, like with the white voice, and I started like, man, get the fuck out of here! I'm cursing, like, fuck out of here, man, you tripping, like, and then I realized it's consistent. He's like, no, Rennie, I would like to. I was like,
he got more white.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, man, this guy's for real. So then he said, I'm gonna pay you $1,500
in 1980.
Yeah, and then he said, but I'm gonna give you half up front and the rest at the end.
Okay.
And I said, are you gonna do what? And he said, so I said, I'm gonna be really honest with you. And the gig was next year, 1992. Okay. And I said, or 91 or 92, one of the two. And I said, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I might not show up. I could take the money, but I may not show up. And I might not even be alive. It just was a full-on gunfight right in front of my house. That's what I told myself. I might not even be here. I can catch a stray anytime, or I could get into some stuff. I'm trying to explain to this man, look, you trying to pay me a year.
This is a business proproposition that might not work out.
You pay me now, everything, and I still may not show up because I may get you. I'm like rents due, sir. I'm Sticky Fingers McGee right now. Like, what are you talking about? And so...
And he kept going.
He kept going.
Okay.
And he was like, well, there's a chance I'm going to have to take. And I said, okay.
What's this guy's name? Do we remember
Michael
his name?
Pedretti.
Okay.
Michael Pedretti.
Okay.
And here's the interesting part. So he was the director and I think founder of a festival called Move Now. It was a mime festival.
Stop.
And he was at the International Movement Theater International was his place.
Okay.
And he held a mime festival.
In Philly?
In Philadelphia. It was international. Everybody from all over came. And so I've never asked him this question. He's still alive. I've never asked him the question.
You got to ask.
Why?
You got to ask.
Because he said, I assume that because he saw popping and he saw what I understood was that popping
Urban
was
mime?
an internal version, an internal pantomime, right? So like create the image inside the body and it manifests outside of the body versus pantomime creating the image completely outside of the body and it has no emotional tie to the body whatsoever in that way. And so I like to think that's what he was thinking.
Do you write about it in Endangered Species? You should ask him.
I do write about it, yeah. And so he said, anyway, so I finally do it. Oh, he said I couldn't use the Scanner Boys. So what I did was I did a house piece to jazz.
Yeah.
I did a popping solo is where I create Endangered Species. I did a popping solo.
This is the origin?
Yeah. Huh. I do a popping solo to my voice and breathing and heartbeat. And then, so I forget what else. Hip hop too. I did it to some kind of fusion thing. And then the last piece was called Pure Movement.
Stop.
And I hired the Scanner Boys. Pure Movement became Pure Movement, but then became Rennie Harris Pure Movement the following week.
So for that first commission, you created Rennie Harris Pure Movement, which has stuck today,
right,
and transformed the way we think about hip hop and dance theater. These are amazing. I've never seen your art. Wow, Rennie. And this you're doing now?
Yeah, this stuff I'm doing now.
And this is
freehand digital.
Freehand digital.
Yeah.
Ooh. So how big are these? They can print.
I print them up.
You print them up.
Per you order it, then I'll.
That's so cool. Okay, so you just keep surprising me. There's so many versions of you, but they're all integrated.
Right.
Right?
They're all integrated into it's like the second, what it is it's like when I'm not choreographing and I'm down.
Yeah. This is your downtime.
It's the other, that's the, I need,
this is the
I
other.
always
You're
need
always
to be,
because that was the thing that I wanted to also talk to you about. Like, you never seem down. You're always making. So even when you're down, you're still creating, just not with the body.
Right.
So this is whether you're writing now or doing visual art. And your work has, again, this like kind of metabolizing trauma, but also confronting politics.
Right. And,
And hip, I mean, I'm going to say it again. You, without blowing smoke, you were one of the first, if not like the first, to take hip hop, which was already a political form just in its embodiment, right? Like we could, if we were going to do a theoretical, we could talk like that about it. But you confronted politics directly. And you do confront politics directly in your work.
Right.
How can you describe for me how that shows up? So even talking about Endangered Species, like that piece early on was a confrontation with young Black males and violence, specific to police violence.
Right. So Endangered Species, so backtracking my other thought real quick, the reason why I took on the commission was because I said I'm going to do what I want to do. Yes. I'm not going to do commercial work anymore. So that's when I stopped commercial work. And so Endangered Species
because you were already layering all of this.
And the commercial work I did, let me backtrack. Commercial work I danced and performed, was on tour with Run DMC, Fat Boys, Curtis Blow, LL Cool J, Salt and Pepper when they were called Supernature. Just a whole bunch of people. Main Source, a whole bunch of people. Houdini, Nucleus, all the old school rappers.
No big deal. Whatever.
Jermaine Dupri.
Oh my God.
Was 10 years old on a tour with us. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So then I left that and went to the commission. Started doing.
Which is a risk. Because there's no world here yet for you.
Another ego moment. I was supposed to be in the movie, was the last movie of this era, and I knew it was going to be the last movie in the era because everyone was talking it. No, everyone was talking about it.
Okay.
And I was supposed to be in that movie. And my manager at the time said, well, if they don't take y'all, because there was a bunch of us, if they don't take you, we had a tour in the UK. So it was like, we're just going to go to the UK and do the tour, and we'll just hold, and if they do take us, we'll hold them off, and then we'll do it after we do the movie.
This is like break-in era.
Yes.
And
so they said, manager said we didn't get the movie. So, all right, cool. We go to Europe, we tour Europe, we come back. This is 80s, like 84, 85. Between 84 and 86, 87. Come back, I run into somebody from Curtis Blow's camp. And he said, Prince, at that time, well.
You were still going by Prince?
Yeah, I was still going by Prince, but why I laugh is because he actually called me Grace. Because they all, that was my other nickname was Grace. Because I had a box haircut, and in New York they had never seen a box haircut other than Grace Jones. And I had the cheekbones and all the things, so they started nicknaming and calling me Grace. Yeah. So he's like, yo, Grace, what's up? You know. And I was like, yo, what's up? You know, and of course I just went by like, I didn't care. I was happy to get a nickname that was given to me, and I didn't make my own, right? And so,
oh, Rennie.
And so anyway, and talk about queer, that would have been my moment.
Oh my God, that would have been the moment.
Right, my moment. That whole moment, that's what I felt. That's what I felt. So then...
I'm kind of wishing that had stuck.
Right. So then, anyway, so he told me, yo, you were supposed to be in a movie. And I said, what you talking about? I said, yeah, they wanted you specifically to be in it, along with the other cat from Scanner Boy and Shalimar. And I said, no, my manager said they didn't want us. No, your manager said... They told your manager they didn't want the rest of them. They just wanted you and the other guy. Wow. And then she said, y'all, she couldn't, what'd she say? If you don't take all of them, you can't take any of them. And I lost it. And that's when I left New York. That's how I got, so that was the ego part. Yeah. So I left New York.
So you were bringing the Skinner Boys with you to a point. You were also making a name and a dollar for Rennie.
Yeah. And so when I left New York, went to Philly, got the commission some years later. So I decided if I'm going to do this again, because at that time I'm floating around, I'm choreographing for people in Philly, I'm doing all the things, and I'm just floating around. I thought I was going to be on television for a minute, I was doing that for a second, and then the commission comes out, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do it my way. And so one of the first pieces was Endangered Species. So in '86, Scanner Boys and I were ambassadors for Ronald Reagan embassy. And we were sent on tour, and we went to the islands. It was like the Jamaica had just had a military coup. It was like this. So we go there, and so basically, long story short, we were chased in the middle of the night and shot down in Kingston, downtown Kingston. And while I was being chased, I was running, and I felt like I was running in water. Yeah. And I couldn't move fast enough. I was like in slow motion. And I could hear my heartbeat and I could hear my breathing. And in the moment because I know it's that moment when you're about to die kind of thing. So as the dude is shooting, he's shooting, and I'm watching the fire come out of the gun. He's right next to me. He doesn't even know he's next to me because he's shooting at the other dancers in front of me.
And do you know who these people were?
Yeah, they turned out to be police.
They were police.
Yeah, trying to rob us. As I was running, I started to see my life flash in front of me. I was my girlfriend, my mom, all the things, and it was wild. It was the craziest thing. I had never. Now I watch these things like, oh, my life, and I'm like, yeah, I know.
And you're hearing the sounds going.
I'm hearing the sound as I'm moving in slow motion. And one of the funniest things was there used to be this cartoon of like a piece of food or something who had a cowboy hat on and cowboy boots on and the stick arms and stick legs, because it was a piece of food. And this cartoon was a cartoon commercial that came on in between cartoons to tell you healthy things.
Yeah, like how to brush your teeth. Like, I'm a yuck mouth.
Right. And so they would say, and then we say, what he would say? He would say, when you run up the hill, run as fast as you can. And I start thinking about this fucking cartoon.
No, in your last moment.
Yeah, I'm running. And I'm skipping a lot of other stuff. I'm running, the last part of it is I'm running up the ramp of an inside parking lot. and the car is chasing me and shooting at me. And I'm running, and I'm like, oh, shit. And there's no cars in the parking lot whatsoever. I can't get under a car. I can't hide a car.
Yep.
And so the further I get up, I go, I realize, shit, I'm afraid of heights.
From the other story.
Right.
Yep.
I got the phobia, and I ran back down. It was one layer behind me.
I'm not jumping from there.
Right. I ran back down. Well, be thrown off. That's what I was thinking. And I ran back down towards the car. In my mind, I was going to, as soon as I see the car, I'm going to jump over that bitch. That's how I'm thinking.
You're playing chicken with the car.
I'm about to go at it. And then right before this moment happens, is one layer down, I hear it coming up, and I look over across the parking lot is the elevator. I ran to the elevator. This is a very good tactic for anyone ever in this situation.
For all of you listening at home.
I ran to the elevator, got in the elevator, pressed down and pulled emergency stop, and stayed in between the floors.
Genius.
And stayed there for the rest of the night till about 6 a.m.
Oh my God.
Came out.
Did they come at you?
They didn't know where I went. I thought they did. So when I opened up, I had my little chicken chest like ready to go. And they didn't. I've tried to make my way back to the hotel. I've run in. I get there. I get to some familiar place where I remember, because all this happened started at 1 a.m. And so I see the military. They're over there, and this is when I learned to keep my mouth shut. I see the military, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? They tried to kill my brother. That's like, fuck that, I'm from America, fuck y'all. I'm going off on them, right? This is the Kingston, right?
Yeah.
These motherfuckers pulled out their fucking rifles and guns like it was like Yosemite Sam fighting fucking Bugs Bunny. And they was like...
Cartoon, layer.
Yeah, exactly like that. And I looked, I was like, for whatever reason, I just started saying, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I didn't say nothing else, but yes, sir. And then all of a sudden I hear, yo, America, what do you say? U.S. some embassy. I'm hearing all this stuff. I'll turn around. It's the American...
ambassador.
No. It's the military.
It's the military.
The US
military
behind you. Behind me, yeah. And this is an American citizen. Took me. Whoa. I was like, thank you.
Rennie.
I get to... I'm really holding back tears. Because you told me you're trying to give me crap, but this is the moment. They take us back to the hotel. The other two guys made it. They were about to be executed. They were on their knees. And the girls we were going to meet up with that night had finally caught up and saved them. Because they were at the embassy and stopped these guys from being executed. They had their hands on their back and they were about to die. I get there. I'm thinking I'm sweating because it's fucking Jamaica. I'm not. So I'm looking down my leg and there's blood on my leg. So I get caught. I get hit down here. It was not like a full-on thing. I go to the hospital. They give me stitches. There's nothing there. I come back, and then they took complete blackout of all media. And so reporters was trying to sneak in the hotel as they were like fucking maids and stuff like that, trying to interview us.
Yeah.
About what happened. We couldn't call anybody.
But what almost made you cry just then? Were you back in your body?
Yeah, it was the moment of that moment happening. It was
just having survived it.
Talking about it makes me
you can feel it. You can feel it.
Like the moment that it happens.
And when you dance that piece, do you?
Yeah, that's it. So every time I've done it 100 times, it's not necessarily healing, but I would go through that piece. Hence the term endangered species. At the same time, that was the language of scholars across and news that the young black man was now becoming an endangered species because they were dying at such a high rate of violence.
But it doesn't feel to you like you work it out. You just work it through when you dance it?
I think here's the thing. I think, and I could be wrong, and I don't know, I would have to hear from other people in that way, by way of trauma. Yeah. I think trauma stays with you. Yeah. I don't know if you work it out. I think you work through it. Yeah. I think you become operational. I be functional. Yeah. You have moments it's just it's like you're with your parents. You have moments you're great, and then all of a sudden a thing. It should be a little boom, and you're like, oh shit, and you go right back to that moment.
Yeah.
And it's the wildest. Yeah, like you can just pop
instantly.
There. So I don't know. I think you just carry trauma with you in this lifetime, and you're working it out. If you're aware of it, you're working it out in this lifetime.
Yeah.
And you're being able to deal with it. And it may not, when I say carry it with you, it may just be standing next to you. It could be adjacent. It's just sitting there waiting, you know what I mean? Like, hey, don't forget, this happened to you, or a thing. And I think it's, and that's hard, you know what I mean, in that way. So hence the term Endangered Species and the solo, which became the force of all the work, and also the model for the work for everything else that I do.
So, I think I've told you this, that I saw that solo in the 90s in Seattle.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I remember being a dancer who had, talk about ego, this thing that I was going to be, and Martha Graham, and all the luminaries, right? And then you come out on the stage and you do that solo as part of the touring work that came to the University of Washington as part of their larger producing. And I'd probably just seen Merce Cunningham. I'd probably, and then here comes Rennie Harris. I just sat there, silent tears pouring down my face, watching, and it's mostly contained in a small space. So now I'm thinking about the elevator,
right? Yeah,
and I'm thinking, right, in this very super vulnerable. You had long dreads at the time, and so the movement is amplified, by your size, which is amplified. And I'd seen street dance. I knew about hip hop and knew it but not as a concert dance form. Would never have seen it on that stage, and seeing it on that stage undid knots in my heart about what was possible in solo performance. The rawness of the soundscape, of your vulnerability, that you weren't formalizing emotional drives. You were just showing, you were doing, you entered and you changed the field. You changed the field of dance. How do you deal with people, students today, who don't know what the fuck they have in front of them? Because I know, story helps, right? Letting students know, letting them in, a little lore. But is it kind of funny when they're like, I'm tired? And you're like, but I'm Rennie Harris, and here's...
No, it's funny. Well, the great part is, being from North Philly, I feel like, with a lot of other great artists from out there, from Joe Scott to the Roots and all those cats, there is a sense of humbleness that I don't know what it is, but you just don't think, you're like, hey, it's cool right now, that's the moment, but it may change at any point in time. And so I feel like, I was always aware of remaining humble, and I don't even want to call it, basically not to. So one day I was in London, I had these new fresh boots, and I liked these boots. They were really nice. I bought them in London. Right. And I was in my neighborhood, and I had just got back 3 days ago. I was walking, and we were talking, so, oh yeah, I like those boots. And I was like, oh yeah, I just bought these in London. I was all proud of it. It was and then somebody's like, nobody give a fuck about them goddamn boots and that you were in fucking London. I'm just saying, blah, blah, blah. I'm just, And it just reminded me, when you have, you don't brag about that. Yeah. You don't brag about what you have. If it gets acknowledged, it gets acknowledged. Yeah. And that just put me back in my spot. I was like, got it. I forgot the lesson. All right, cool. Don't worry about it. And so much so, even when I performed in Philly, I never invited people. People were like, I didn't tell me you were performing. I never invited people. I still don't have a sense of to remember to tell people, because it's such a part of me. I forget that I'm performing in your city. Oh, I forgot. I try to remember as much as, I attempt to remember as much as possible. I have other people yo, call so-and-so,
Yeah.
But as I get older, I attempt to be better with that. But it's this sense of when I'm teaching, I feel like it might be a cheat code for them to know my history. because then now they're being forced. You said something. You said forcible emotion, or would you say formal emotion?
Yeah, the formalization of
formalization of emotion. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like, yeah, right, right. And so like, no,
not gonna do that.
I give them tidbits from time to time. Like I talked to one of the grads today, and I was telling her something, and she was like, "What?" I was like, yeah, well, I just was talking to Jill Scott. She called me last week.
Mm-hmm. You drop it when you need it.
Yeah, right.
Just
right. And she's like,
here and there.
I'm like, yeah. I said, and I used to tell the students all the time, I said, listen, you probably should research your professors. I was like, the professors here are doing crazy stuff. These motherfuckers is not no joke. You guys are worrying about the school. You're researching the school, but research the professor that's going to be teaching you and see how they're contributing to the game.
That's right.
Then you'll know when you walk in, you're gonna know where you all right. This is this person's did this and that, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But
and it's kind of nuts what's happening.
But however, in hip hop culture and being an academic, I don't think it's even that even. They just assume like, oh yeah, you're not like they're not even thinking about it that way.
You're not real because you're in the academy now.
Well, they don't. I don't think there's a respect the same way.
But then you're the one who takes them into pure movement. You've brought so many dancers up and into the company. Because
part of me wanted to. I have an open door policy.
Yeah.
And that is get in where you fit in. If you want to dance, get in the back.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
Yeah.
And I have people who've been in the back of rehearsal for 5 years and never saw the stage. I've seen people who've been in rehearsal for 3 years, got on the stage, and I took them back off the stage. You know what I mean? And it wasn't really about skill set; it was about who they were.
Yeah.
Like, no, I can't fuck with that on the road.
Yeah.
You need to learn. Blah blah blah. This is how we operate.
That's right.
And so,
but it's not fear, like not putting your ego out there and using that as the driver for them to want to get with it. Like
I want them to come to it the way I came to it. I want to teach them the way I learned. And that's the hard part because then that's when the divide happens because they have an idea of what they think hip-hop culture is. And I'm like, no, this is the participatory culture, so you have to show up the way I have to show up. I don't have to, for me to even give you all the information I'm giving you is still too much because that means I'm giving you this and you're receiving it, but you're not giving anything back to me.
That's right. It's the banking.
Right.
And that's not it. That's not how hip-hop works.
And so it's not how it works. It's a cipher, and that's what the circle was for.
We're going to end it right there, my friend, except for before I let you go, I'm going to make you play a game.
Oh, bet.
It's called The Quick and Dirty.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. You have to be quick. You don't have to be dirty, but you have to say and. And it's going to work out great. You're going to be genius at this, but you got to be quick. You got to wrap it up. It's got to be like snacks, like Rennie snacks. Are you ready?
Yeah, all right.
You're going to know what to do. All right. So we do this on the show. This is the 5th season. We've been doing this. And we got thousands of listeners who just wait for this part. Okay, this is where I'm gonna fire away.
Okay.
It's gentle, friendly fire. It's all love.
Oh, all right, go.
Don't worry. Okay. Music on your playlist, listed by era. Go.
Oh, Parliament Funkadelic.
And. Faster.
Oh, snap. Oh, my goodness. No. All right. What's the boy's name? D. Martin.
Okay, and.
Badu.
Oh, and. Yes.
Kendrick.
And.
J. Cole.
Okay, I'll let you off the hook. Your guilty pleasure, I heard you talking about Tina Turner, Private Dancer, but what other guilty pleasure music do you have that you like wouldn't say out loud, but I'm going to make you say out loud?
I don't know if I would not say anything out loud.
You say anything. I mean, you're so vulnerable.
Yeah,
so what's the thing I wouldn't expect on your playlist?
Classical music?
Well, but even so, hearing about Losing My Religion, you're talking about R.E.M.
Yeah, R.E.M., yeah.
That blew my mind, because R.E.M.'s my favorite band of all time.
Oh, yeah.
They broke up on my birthday.
Oh, did they really?
Heartbreak.
That's me in the corner.
That's me in the spotlight.
Right.
All right, next. Okay, essential trademark Rennie Harris swag. We're like making a brand, we're selling it. It's like, what do you got?
My Philly hat.
Philly hat all day. But you got to say and. My Philly hat and.
My Philly hat and my Air Force Ones. And my scarf.
Yes.
And rosary of some sort.
Some kind of beads. Prayer beads. I'm with you there. Okay, 3 pieces of advice that you give students in class.
Movement is the last manifestation of who you are. Practice.
And?
Sincerity. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. You're longboarding. Put yourself there. You're in California. You're longboarding. Describe your sensorial experience. What's happening inside your body around? Like, what's the vibes? Take me with you.
My vibe is don't fall. Hey, man, you're over 60. Do not fall. Because it's not you ain't coming back from this one, sir. There's a longer road.
The next wheels are on a chair.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, there's a 65-year-old man that just fell.
I love it. Okay. We have been doing this thing where we talk about like a blessing you send people off with. That's kind of the final. And may your This year, because it's 150th for the university, thinking about a birthday cake, candles, make a wish. But this wish you're going to share. What's your wish for the students? What's your wish for the institution? What's your wish for dance?
Summed up, it would be well, and that would mean be healthy in mind, body, and spirit, and really figure out what that really means. Not just like good, I'm just going to be pleasant and have my pleasant face on and be nice to people. And I think really the real work is with yourself.
That was Rennie Harris, artist in residence at the University of Colorado Boulder. To learn more about Rennie and his work, see our show notes. The Ampersand is a production of the College of Arts and Sciences at the University of Colorado Boulder. It is written and produced by me, Erika Randall, and Tim Grassley. If there are people you'd like us to interview on the Ampersand, do please email us at asinfo@colorado.edu. Our theme music was composed and performed by Nelson Walker, and the episodes are recorded at Interplay Recording in Boulder, Colorado. I'm Erika Randall, and this is the Ampersand.
When I was skateboarding, I think I did two competitions. I won those because at this time in Philadelphia, in Philadelphia, there weren't really black skaters, right?
Yeah.
There was one group called the Crazy Street Riders, or a black crew, and that was it. That's all I remember. And I was trying to be down with them, but I was completely. They were like they did half pipe.
They're more park. They're doing the stairs. They're doing the height, and you're
three
like
wheels out. Like they doing the things.
And
like
why weren't you doing that?
Well, here's the thing. So I'm calling myself. I'm gonna get with the Crazy Street Riders. You know.
Yeah.
They built maybe a story high ramp, and it's Philly, so the streets are really small. So they took over two parking spots.
This is not going to go well.
Their engineering. They did it. They built this ramp, and it went up to the second floor of. So say if you're on the side street and there's a row home, and you go up. It reaches up to about the second floor. If you look to your right, you see the second floor of so about a story up. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna do. At that time it was just 3 wheels out.
No helmet.
Right? No, of course not. So, no law-abiding skater, whatever.
Well, helmet.
So you had to get for 3 wheels out. You had to have the edge. You had to get the back wheel, just that, and then all the 3s are not other wheels are not on the ramp. So you go. I go up. I go. Whoop, I come up. Boom, I do it. I come back down. Shoo, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And I don't remember if anyone actually coached me to tell me how to do it. I think I might have just did it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure someone had.
That's where dance and skating is so similar, right? You're just watching.
So they went. The next time I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be in. I'm gonna do this thing. I'm trying to do this planche. I'm gonna come off like them. And man, I go up. I'm coming around. I went to grab my skateboard. I'm grabbing my board. I'm putting my hand on the edge. As I do that, I look over to my right, and there's a white woman in a white robe in the window, standing. She's not even in the window. She's standing in front of her window with coffee, and she's sipping her coffee and just looking. And at the moment I look at her, I go, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "I'm fucking high as fuck. Let me get out." I catch the speed wobble and I'm like, burnout, crash out.
Oh my God.
And I was like,
that scene in the movie, you can see it like you're watching the film.
That was the moment that shook me forever because I realized how high I was. I had never. I've gone straight down fucking hills and things like just doing
that's
downhill.
Different than.
Like, just, but still the height, the steep, the whole nine. Like, nothing really rocked me until that moment, watching her just sip her coffee early on Saturday morning in her white robe, like, on the second floor. I'm like, yo.
What am I doing up here?
I'm Astoria high.
I'm not supposed to be here.
I didn't realize how high I was. And that was it. And I went back to freestyle. Yeah. And I just did freestyle for a minute. And then dance was becoming more prominent. Like, so I was freestyling, and then I got into no more
competitions.
Yeah. And then after, fast forward to my past 50, I get my hips replaced. I was determined to get back on the board because I felt like I needed to be back on the board. I hadn't been on the board in like maybe 20 years.
Wow.
So when I moved, matter of fact, when I got here, this teacher CU.
10 years ago? Like when you started?
Yeah, when I was staying at Onye's house. Okay. I went down the hill and bought me a short bill.
At the 303.
Yes.
That's where Easy works.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got a short board.
Okay.
Got the short board, and then I remember Chi, Onye's oldest son, was like, apparently came running out the door to see, I gotta see this.
I gotta see.
Whatever. So I get to the top, I'm spacewalking, I'm doing bringing all my old stuff back.
You had it still?
Yeah, still. You could feel it when you get on the board, right? So I go down, I'm like, you doing it, and they're looking at me like, oh my goodness, this is like, what are you, like, where are you coming from? Like, yeah, no, I used to do this for real, So then, cool. After my backtracking, after my hips got replaced, I think I was like 50 something at the time. I was like, I gotta get back on the board. So during COVID, I got me a longboard. I said, if I'm going to get on board, let me start with a longboard. I had like 5 short boards.
Were you in LA for COVID, or were you in Philly?
LA, yeah. So during COVID, I got me a longboard. I said, I'm gonna get on this thing. And so I just practiced just standing on top of it for balance and getting off. That was my training. Yes. Doing that and then trying to rock a little bit back and forth with it.
It's plenty.
You know what I mean?
It's plenty.
And I still couldn't feel my leg when I would step on it to put my weight to kick off. I couldn't do it. And then I had my daughters that came over during COVID. So I taught them the longboard. And I videotaped them learning the longboard. I said, listen, this is what you got to do, right? So we were all longboarding for a little bit once I got on it, but it was dangerous. I shouldn't have did it, but now I'm fine. Anyway.